Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a three-time Pro Bowler, Derek Carr, leading the Oakland Raiders as they match up with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. Kickoff is moments away, so let's get you out to our commentators. As standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, from the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Oakland Raiders. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Deshaun Watson and his 10 offensive mates for Houston taking the field here. Watson in the loss to Indianapolis Week 7. Again, over 300 yards and a touchdown pass, but sacked 3 times and 2 costly interceptions, including the one to Darius Leonard to seal the game. You know, I got to ask you about Watson. After what you've seen this year, is he on his way to being a true elite NFL quarterback?
I think the answer is yes, and I think Houston knows that. That's why they made that move in the preseason when they made the trade for Laramie Tunsil to install him at left tackle. They want to do everything possible to make it good for this young man because he got sacked 3 times in this last one, threw the 2 costly interceptions. He's been hit a lot in his young career. They want that to go down. They want him to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. But I do say, yes, he's on his way to being elite because there's a magic to his game. When he plays, his team thinks they can beat anyone.
Here's a stat that supports his elite status. He joins Cam Newton as the only players to ever pass for 7,500 yards and rush for 1,000 in their first 30 career games. Not bad. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's a guy on his 4th franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
On second down. Hyde. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Kyle Wilbur there to make the stop. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed two terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
3 bud.
Third and long. It's Watson. And that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Raiders, Dwayne Harris. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Derek Carr leading out the Oakland Raiders. And the Raiders coming off the defeat to Green Bay 42-24 in Week 7. Now they're at 3-3. Carr was pretty effective in that game, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he leads the league in completion percentage 74%. But he was responsible, Charles, for what turned out to be the play of the game.
And it's hard to really be upset with him, because it was a hustle and an effort attempt. But you also have to understand what the downside is. And what I mean is, he takes off and runs for the right pylon, has a chance to get there, reaches out with his left hand with the ball in it, trying to get the ball across the goal line, but it came out of his hands ahead of time, goes through the end zone, which means it's a touchback, and the ball goes over to Green Bay. So all that great attempt, the valiant dive, all for naught, and he cost his team.
Actually, the second time that he's done that, same scenario happened to him late in a Sunday night game against the Cowboys a couple of years ago. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Carr now to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Here comes Carter. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. CD, let's discuss the AFC South as Houston comes back out here on offense. Because of that loss to Indianapolis, now they're a little bit behind the Colts, a half a game in that division. But it's a very tight division, and these two teams at the top are intriguing.
Yeah, they are intriguing. And remember, the teams behind them, we're talking about Jacksonville and Tennessee, are both 3-4, so neither one of them is out of it. But here's why I think Houston and Indianapolis have the advantage. Remember, they split last season. Both of them made the playoffs. Now when you look at the quarterback position, the most important position on any team, Houston has their guy in Deshaun Watson. Indianapolis has their guy in Jacoby Brissett, even though before the season we thought it'd be Andrew Luck. But Andrew Luck never played this year. Brissett's had that team essentially since the offseason program. And then when you look at Jacksonville and when you look at Tennessee, both playing with backups right now. That's why I think Houston and Indianapolis have a major advantage.
For the Texans, here's the upcoming schedule. They'll be home against the Raiders and then face the Jags in London. That's the division game before their Week 10 open week. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a second straight loss. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Back onto the field come the Oakland Raiders here, and as we discussed earlier, they're at 3-3 following the loss at Lambeau against the Packers Week 7. But, you know, coming into the season, some of the predictions for this team were pretty dire, so maybe they're not feeling bad about being 500 at this point. What do you think of this team?
Well, knowing John Gruden the way that I do, he hates being 500. He wants to be well above that, but I think for all of us looking at this team from afar, 500 is a good spot to be in right now, especially considering the number of injuries and guys not being in the lineup. Now, we will learn a lot more about this team coming up. Remember, they've been on that long stretch away from home, including a trip to London, and they won that game against Chicago. Next week, they go to Houston. But after that, they get 3 games at home in November. Detroit, the Los Angeles Chargers, and Cincinnati. They've got a chance to really make hay during that time frame and become a factor in the AFC West. Knock on wood if you're with me.
Running is Jacobs, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They go jet sweep here with Williams. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Jones on the return.
Let's go, baby.
And now out comes Houston. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here's Hyde. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Come on, QB, come on. Check it back, check it back.
Out of the gun, Watson. Open man is QT, complete. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. First down, a run with Hyde. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. In your face.
On second down, Hyde. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. A pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a third down at 17 to go. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. I'll guarantee you Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 41. Watch the run.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. This game, this matchup means a little more to the Carr family. Derek Carr's brother David, of course, the 1st overall pick in 2002 by these Houston Texans. Spent 5 years as the Texans starter, and then he would eventually spend 6 more years as a backup in the league at various spots before calling it a career.
Now! 180! We're good! You're 180! That's it!
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Carr gives to Richard. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the 1st down in the process.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Carr. The quick slant caught. And Jones gets in for an Oakland touchdown. From 10 yards out, and the Raiders have taken the lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And the lead is now 2. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson, and his throw is incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On play action, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw is Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun now for Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 38, Watson rolling to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Watson now, operating from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. On second down now, it's Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. On the return, Carter. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. On the move to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
That's how we do it.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
after the sack here, 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Watson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. And now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They run. Hyde. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Watson now to throw. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 33 yards. And the Texans have retaken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch left, watch left, watch left.
This is Richard, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the 41, Carr. His throw incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
On the draw, Richard. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Certainly understand what they're doing there, 3rd and long draw play, but it did not work out.
And you can certainly hear the thought process, too. People are thinking, why are you running it there? You've got to throw the football. But sometimes you catch the defense napping. You take a little bit of a chance there. It just didn't work in this case.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Well, partner, let's take a quick look ahead to Week 8. A couple of exciting matchups. Carolina at undefeated San Francisco, and then Green Bay and Kansas City on Sunday night. That should be a fun one.
It should be. In Green Bay, Kansas City, a rematch of the first ever Super Bowl that was played. Green Bay winning that one in Los Angeles at the Coliseum. But that Carolina-San Francisco game is so intriguing to me because, to me, it's a battle of defenses. Carolina's defense is playing at a high level. But is anyone playing better defense in San Francisco outside of New England? I would say no.
And then also Seattle at Atlanta. And I bring up that game because, gosh, if the Falcons lose, Dan Quinn might not have a job.
Yeah, and that's true. And I hate that because DQ is one of the best guys you're going to meet. And it was just 2 years ago his team was in the Super Bowl. But right now they're 1-6. And if they lose to Seattle, they're facing an open week. And there'll be a heavy discussion and a job referendum on him at that point.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Open man, the tight end falls. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Set. No. Right here, right here.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Off of play action, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
A throw out wide to QT, complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Line him up.
Watson on 3rd down. It's complete. Stills. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Good move by Duke. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Texans push further out in front.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So that drive in total 8 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. On play action, now Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Okay, partner, let's mix things up a bit. This is something that's been a staple of morning television programs for a long time. Let's bring it to Madden. Some power rankings. Give me your top 5 through 7 weeks.
All right, I'll start with number 5, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, he can throw it as well as run it, but his running, that's so exciting. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. Looks like Aaron Rodgers and his head coach, Matt LaFleur, looks like they're in sync, and the Packers are playing awfully well right now. Number 3, San Francisco. Their defense built to travel. They can play anywhere and take on anyone, and they run the ball on offense. Number 2, New Orleans. They've survived without Drew Brees. In fact, they flourished with Teddy Bridgewater, and their defense, vastly underrated, one of the top 3 in the league. And last but not least, shocker, New England. And I did think about putting New Orleans ahead of New England, but New England's defense is the best in the league, and Tom Brady on the other side, they still reign supreme.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Carr. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. And even 40 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They will find Davis. That's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, they'll throw with Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the 1st half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Carlson on for the PAT. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
19, 59. Know your job.
On first down, Watson. He dumps it to Hyde. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go, baby.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Here's Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. With that incompletion, let's play a little game here. We'll call it 2 up, 2 down. Surprising team so far, 2 for the good, 2 for the bad.
All right, let's start with the good. The Buffalo Bills. Did you really think they'd be pressing for first place this deep into the season?
No.
Okay, how about the Carolina Panthers? Start 0-2 with Cam Newton, undefeated without him. How about 2 down? The Atlanta Falcons. I thought they'd press for a playoff spot. And the Los Angeles Chargers.
How about the Browns at 2-4? I thought you'd put them in there.
I didn't expect them to be the team others thought in preseason. I thought they might contend for a playoff spot, but it doesn't surprise me overall.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Again, it's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. Well, they do get 5 there, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Carr now to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Carr now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. They run it with Jacobs. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr. Well, this is caught by Williams. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here's A.J. Cole now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Sort of a slow and steady game so far, but reliable for him here in this 3rd quarter.
Sounds like we're describing a possession receiver, right? The one that finds a way to make the big catches, the ones that break the backs of defenses, keep 1st downs, accumulating. I think he's that and maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, he's been pretty good so far. We'll see if he can make this good game a great game. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Watson, he's got his tight end. It's Fells. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a run with Hyde. Space to maneuver at the 40, and he takes it all the way up to the 47. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So following the run by Hyde, here's 1st and 10. Now Watson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Toward the pylon, caught. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, it's Carr. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On the ground, Richard. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. To throw, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And an alley to run. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Check. Fresno.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set. 19. Let's go. 2 times. 4 down. Alert. And I'm go.
Watson on 1st down. Open man, the tight end fells. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On the counter, this is Hyde. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Now Watson from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd down, Watson. And that's off the mark, incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Now Carr, complete to Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown or the 2-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice game, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, and it's 3rd and 5.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Raiders on 3rd down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Carr. This complete to Jones. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Carr. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
They come out here in the eye. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Richard. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone, and now it'll be 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely, because a field goal here doesn't do him much good. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They go with Jacobs, and he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And this Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They start the drive with Hyde. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
Again, it's Hyde. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Hyde. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Big stop, G.
From the gun, here's Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's Hyde. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. From the 31, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Watson. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
From the red zone now, Watson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. A safety with a sack there, LaMarcus Joyner.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Watch the pass.
To throw is Watson. Out to his left. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Screen play. Johnson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Carr. And this will be incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Carr. Big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney Merciless showing no mercy. Flies in for the sack.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Justin Reed. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, on fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, four in a game.
Yeah, about four in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Keep it up, keep it up.
Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Set. 19. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Check.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On second and very short, Watson. And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Carr now to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Check 26, check 26.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. What now? 180. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now out comes Houston. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
set. 19. 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? Time to go. Give me something. Give me something.
That's caught out wide by Stills. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. It's complete. Stills. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Let's go. Pick it up, D. Slam.
Here's High. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So Derek Carr in the offense, down by 11, 30 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Down to 7 seconds now. 6. One final try now for Carr. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.